Hi all, today we are going to discuss on the development of the psychological basis of mental disorder. Despite the emphasis on biological research, understanding of psychological factors in mental disorders was progressing as well. The first major steps were taken by Sigmund Freud, the most frequently cited psychological theorist of the 20th century. During 5 decades of observation, treatment, and writing, Freud developed a comprehensive theory of psychopathology that emphasized the inner dynamics of unconscious motives that are the heart of the psychoanalytic perspective. The methods he used to study and treat patients is come from called psychoanalysis. Next topic is mesmerism. Our efforts to understand psychological causation of mental disorder start with Franz Anton Mesmer. He is an Austrian physician who further developed the ideas of paracells, that is about the influence of planets on the human body. Mesmer believed that the planets affected a universal magnetic fluid in the body, the distribution of which determined health or disease. The next concept is the Nancy School. Ambrose Auguste Liebold, a French physician who practiced in the town of Nancy. He used hypnosis successfully in his practice. Also in Nancy at time was a professor of medicine, Hippolyte Behim, who became interested in the relationship between hysteria and hypnosis. They believed that hypnotism and hysteria were related. Next eminent personality in 90s, that is Jean Charcot, who was the head of the Salpêtrière Hospital in Paris and the leading neurologist of his time, had been experimenting with some of the phenomenon described by mesmerists. As a result of his research, Charcot disagreed with the findings of Nancy School and insisted that degenerative brain changes lead to hysteria. Next theoretical concept is we are already studied in first year. That is the emergence of psychology, the origin. We already studied that. That is the William Wood, the eminent personality. That is he's a German scientist who established the first experiment psychology laboratory in 1879. Next, Mackin Candle. He's an American psychologist who adopted Wood method and studied individual differences in mental processing. Next is Leitner Whitmer. He is an American psychologist who established the first psychological clinic in US, focusing on problems of mentally deficient children. He also founded the journal The Psychological Clinic in 1907. Next, William Haley is an American psychologist who established the Chicago Juvenile Psychopathic Institute and advanced the idea that mental illness was due to environmental or socio-cultural factors. Next personality we already know, that is Ivan Pavlov, a Russian physiologist who published classical studies in the psychology of learning. Next, John B. Watson, an American psychologist who conducted early research into learning principles and came to be known as the father of behaviorism. The last one is B.F. Skinner, an American learning theorist who developed the school of learning known as operant conditioning and was influential in incorporating behavior principles into influencing behavioral changes. These are the theoretical concepts of abnormal behavior and abnormal psychology.